We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 10.
Well, good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Avi Hannon. And Nebraska State Patrol, with the assistance from the Clay County Sheriff's Office, is investigating a homicide that happened on Friday night in rural Harvard, Nebraska. Is our top story at 10. A release by the Nebraska State Patrol said at around 8:30 on Friday night, the Clay County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call about a domestic disturbance upon arriving. Deputies found a deceased woman, 35-year-old Heather Gray, with a gunshot wound, and a man, 39-year-old Toby Gray, suffering from an alleged self-inflicted gunshot wound. Officials say the two were married and there were children inside the home when the deputies arrived. Officials say Toby was transported to Aurora Memorial Hospital and has since been flown to Bryan Health West Campus in Lincoln, Nebraska, with life-threatening injuries. The Nebraska State Patrol is leading the investigation at this time. Investigators say they believe the man allegedly shot Heather Gray, then shot himself. The children were not injured, and officials say Toby is still in critical condition and the children were taken into protective care. And the Wayne County Sheriff's Office said in a press release that yesterday the Wayne County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of 2 work-related fatalities. The release said south of Windside, Nebraska, a wind turbine maintenance crew experienced an equipment failure, which resulted in 2 men falling from a turbine. 46-year-old Eddie Noriga and 37-year-old Riddell Justice Noriga, both from Las Vegas, Nevada, were pronounced dead on the scene. Says officials, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office was assisted by the Windside Volunteer Fire Department. The accident remains under investigation. Well, in honor of Youth Art Month, the Sioux City Art Center is welcoming the public to glance at Siouxland students' best work. And for the 36th annual Youth Art Month exhibit, 59 pieces of art were put on display for folks to see, all created by 9th through 12th grade students from various schools around Siouxland. Today, Sioux City Art Center handed out first, second, and third place awards for Best in Show. And officials say they hope to encourage more people to get creative through this event.
Student artists don't always receive a lot of opportunities to showcase their work, but as Youth Art Month is the focus of art education, we just want to also show the community how important it is to have these programs within our education system.
And if you would like to check out the art for yourself, the exhibit will be available until April 19th. And a small town in South Dakota is full of rich history, especially since Laura Ingalls Wilder lived there. Reporter Jordan DeSmet has more from DeSmet, South Dakota.
Homesteaders started arriving to the DeSmet area in 1879.
It was named after Father DeSmet, who was a Jesuit priest.
The railroad is what brought people here, including Charles Ingalls, a railroad timekeeper whose family was the first to arrive in DeSmet. Of course, his daughter, Laura, was a beloved children's book author. Laura spent her first winter in DeSmet in this surveyor's house, which was originally along Silver Lake.
Laura would write about that house in her book, By the Shores of Silver Lake, and Laura, as a 12-year-old, thought it was a huge house when in fact it's a very small house. But she had been living in dirt dugouts and one-room shanties.
The surveyor's house is just one of the ways the Laura Ingalls Wilder Memorial Society helps you learn about Laura's story. You can also view family artifacts and step inside DeSmet's first school, which Laura and her sister Carrie attended. A few blocks away, you can check out the Ingalls home. Laura did not live there, but it was built by Pa Ingalls himself.
We have this history here where you can actually see the actual places that she lived and worked and studied in, and you can touch what she touched, stand where she stood.
Laura didn't actually start writing until she was 65 years old. By then, her daughter Rose, who was the highest paid female writer at the time, was the one who encouraged her mother.
When you see the letters between the two of them, you see how Rose literally taught, I mean, she basically gave her mother a college course on how to write. And so she's like, when you frame a story, this is how you do it. And when you develop a character, this is how you do it. And she is giving her not what to write, but how to write.
5 of her books took place in DeSmet.
She just is telling her family stories piece by piece as she goes. And As a result of that, De Smet became the heart of the story because it was the heart of her maturing.
which helped put the town on the map.
She was one of the original founders of this town. Her work has made other people recognize this town and come visit it and see its history and see its value.
Laura's stories are something many can relate to.
It's a little girl telling you what it was like to be a little girl on the prairie. And that kind of history is so raw and human and relatable.
She was such a descriptive writer that they want to relive those books.
As readers immerse themselves in Laura's writing, they learn lessons with every page they turn.
Holy cow, what lessons can't you learn? The first thing I would say is resilience. She was resilient. Her family was resilient. The stuff that they faced and had to overcome shows what humanity can do when they're seeking the good, because they did.
And in the decades since Laura published her first book, her willingness to tell her story has left a lasting impact on the town she once called home.
She is part of our blood. She's part of who and what we are. You can't turn a corner in this town without seeing her in some way, shape, or form. She's part of our history, she's part of who and what we are, and she will be here till the end.
And for those in need of cheering up, the Animal Rescue League of Iowa is extending a helping paw. Today was the first time the West Des Moines Library had Therapets visit for their Sensory Spaces event, which gives a calmer and quieter experience for those who need it. The event started with people signing up for sessions, but due to the amount of people coming to see the bunnies, they started letting everyone filter in. The bunnies, Ronaldo and Lola, travel from different libraries, hospitals, and memory care clinics to assist those who need something to cuddle with.
The best ones, though, are the ones where I interact with adults that are usually like on the spectrum or in a hospital setting, where they aren't around animals, or maybe they've left their animal at home because they can't bring the animals in where they're at, and I really like to see them, interact with them, and get calm and smile and start talking more.
The library was so pleased with how today's sensory space turned out that they hope to bring back the Therapets in the near future. And Siouxland libraries are celebrating 30 years this year across South Dakota. The library system has locations across Sioux Falls and most of Minnehaha County. It all started in 1995 when Sioux Falls Public Library and Minnehaha County Rural Public Library emerged. Today, residents of different towns enjoy multiple branches in the system.
There's so many people who will use the downtown library and the Baltic branch, or they'll use the Cayley branch and the Ronnie branch. We have a lot of people who they like different aspects of each of the libraries.
Fix says Siouxland Libraries is planning a special anniversary event on May 31st. And folks gathered in Pennsylvania to grieve the loss of the officer killed in the hospital shooting and the others injured. Reporter Mallory Metzner has more from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
A night of prayers in West York as the community stops to remember fallen officer Andrew Duarte,
who stepped literally into the line of fire and sacrificed himself.
And in doing so saved others like Haley Wadzinski's sister and Aaron, who was working at UPMC when the gunman arrived.
I'm just so appreciative for him. My sister's my best friend, so because of them and his act of selflessness and them just responding and acting quickly, could have been a lot more casualties.
According to his LinkedIn page, Officer Duarte has served on the West York Borough Police Department since June 2022. Before that, he had served in the Denver Police Department in Colorado between 2017 and 2022.
We're like family here, so we're a small department, so we all know one another, and this will be very painful for our folks that work with him every day as it is for me. We're all like family.
Now, dozens gather for a vigil outside of the West York Police Department.
It's not what they expect when they go to work in the morning.
Very shocked, upset that this is the world that we have to live in.
Candles were lit and gratitude was shared.
Thank you to Officer Duarte's family for raising a hero.
This time in this world is tough out here. And thank Andrew for what he did for my son. He helped my son before.
Families and first responders paused to pay their respects. The steps of the police department are now colored by flowers, as the Laurel Rex Firehouse is colored by blue light, a sign of support.
It's a terrible day for the community, but all in all, we're going to come together and be able to show our respects and our love and our heart for somebody who was a hero.
Well, switching gears, joining me now is meteorologist Maggie Warren. So Maggie, it was a beautiful day out here in Siouxland, hit the 60s, sunny, a great day to get out and enjoy some of that fresh air. What's it looking like in that future? What are we going to see?
It is looking just absolutely spectacular, pretty much rinse and repeat of what we saw today, except we do add in a few rain chances, which I'll show you in just a moment. But for right now, quiet and dry out on the Ho-Chunk Center camera. Not really a whole lot going on in downtown Sioux City. Those temperatures back into the mid-30s here in Sioux City, 35 degrees, 43 in Lamar, still hanging on to 49 in Yankton, and 47 out there in Neely. A little colder out to the east, though, 39 in Storm Lake, 40 there in Sac City, 39 in Denison, and then mid-40s through Esterville and Spencer. Overall, though, a pretty warm night and not really seeing those temperatures close to the dew points at the moment, so not having to deal with any fog right now with those in the low and mid 30s. Those winds also helping keep fog at bay between 5 and 15 miles an hour, flowing in from the south and southwest. 15-mile-an-hour wind there in Sheldon, Orange City at 13, and Bloomfield out to our west at 16, but generally between 5 and 15 miles an hour right now. That's dropping wind chills into the 20s and 30s. Sioux City, that sole spot with a wind chill at 29, so in the upper 20s, mid and upper 30s elsewhere at the moment. 41 still in Neely, 43 the wind chill there in Sioux Falls. As we continue to see clouds filtering in, a few sprinkles trying to get going up to our north, but those quickly fizzling out as they hit the drier air that we continue to have in place across Siouxland. Not going to be the case as we head into our Monday. We do continue to see some kind of a mix of sun and clouds as we head into Monday morning. And then by Monday afternoon, seeing a few spotty showers and sprinkles pushing in from the west-northwest. And then another batch through the afternoon and evening hours. Again, going to be widely scattered, very hit or miss with that shower potential. So you might get under a shower, you might not. You just have to be in the right place at the right time for those showers. And then we see some clearing, break in that activity heading into Tuesday morning, some clearing, and then clouds starting to fill back in from time to time for our Tuesday, especially Tuesday afternoon into the evening. Another batch of showers pushes through. Again, very light rain potential out there for us heading Tuesday night into Wednesday, quickly clearing out for us Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon. 32 degrees for tonight, mostly cloudy and mild. Those winds out of the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Again, we'll see those clouds on the increase. We've already seen them on the increase for our day today, and then for tomorrow, a bit cloudier of a day. Not going to be that bright sunshine that we were seeing for a good chunk of the day today. Still going to rise into the upper 50s and low 60s, though. We'll still have that warmer air advecting off westerly winds out of between 5 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. So going to be a bit breezier. Sprinkles, a few scattered showers out there, and temperatures staying in those upper 50s, low 60s Monday, Tuesday, a little bit of a drop into Wednesday, back into the mid 50s, upper 50s again as we hit Thursday and Friday. Plenty of sunshine by the time we round out the work week, and a bigger drop in those temperatures Saturday and for Sunday, but quickly rebounding back into the mid 50s for Monday, and then around 50 for Tuesday. So nice stretch of well above average temperatures, unlike what we were seeing last week. I like the look of this 9 on 9 forecast better than the one I was showing this time last Sunday.